Fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. What is Dingles all about? I'm gonna let my buddy Jonah at the Malibu Racket Club explain that to you. Fellow tennis nerds, this is Jonah. I'm playing Dingles with him today. He's a tennis nerd, and we love tennis nerds, as you know.
Let's go.
But maybe some of you don't know what Dingles is.
So, Dingles is a combination between doubles and singles. It's a game played purely from the baseline. You have two cross-court rallies going on at the same time. As soon as one of those ends, you yell Dingles, and then the rally going on simultaneously turns into a doubles point. You got to win both points, the cross-court rally and the doubles point, to win a point. You play to 7.
And this guy is a genius at it. He plays all kinds of dinky shots and hits hard and then soft and then goes to the net. So
I mean, you'll see in the video, I'm a little crafty, but
yeah, he's a crafty guy. We like that. We like tennis should be crafty, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
awesome,
sir.
man. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
This is Sarah.
Where is my Dingle shout out?
Sarah, the best Dingles partner in the world.
Yeah.
Shout her out for the tennis.
With the Rich Sport brand.
Rich Sport.
Do this, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that she was so strong at the front, it's that she was so strong at the back.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, we use Sabalenka and a couple of these people when they
Hit the felt of the ball, right?
Well, yeah, but they're getting to play kind of a slightly different game than even someone like Caroline Wozniacki.
Thanks for the explanation, Jonah. It was fun to play with you and the bunch. Sarah, Kristen, Brody, Karen, a bunch of people, really nice people, all of them. Had a lot of fun hanging out at your beautiful club and playing a fun game of Dingles. The scoring can be different. I played also with Tennis Warehouse a bunch and the other content creators there. And then we had the scoring where you count the first point as 1 and the doubles point as 2. So you always have scoring going on. When we played at the Malibu Racket Club, if one team wins the first point and the other team wins the second point, it's kind of even and we don't count it, and then we keep playing until you win 2 points in a row, which I kind of prefer. I thought that was a better system and easier to keep count of what's going on. Seen pros really embrace this sport, like Tommy Haas, the Bryan brothers. There are now official UTR rankings and tournaments.
Oh, I heard that they're going to start playing competitive Dingles. I was excited about that. All tennis leads doubles words in the sense that we're eventually all becoming doubles players. Nobody sets out to be like, you never hear a 6-year-old say, Mom, when I grow up, I'm going to be a doubles player. I'll just preface by saying I'm a doubles specialist. I didn't want to become one, but I love doubles. And I think that ultimately, I think the life force of tennis, ironically, is doubles. If you looked at it on a global scale, it's being played at most clubs. When you get into an older age, it's being played. And I think it's almost this sort of like this port in the storm. We start out as singles players. Our minds get messed up with all the cheating, with all the losing. And then eventually it's like, you know what? I surrender. Okay, doubles. Now I got a friend I can kind of kvetch with beside me on the court. I'm on a team. I think doubles is like a healing almost.
I think this thing will grow, and I think hopefully this will make a bit of a bridge for players that are thinking that tennis is a little bit of a counter club sport, tough to get into, inaccessible, if you will. And I think Dingles has some staying power where you can mix up, rotate the teams. It can be pretty fast paced. You can play to 5, 7, 11, whatever you want in terms of scoring. You don't need to serve, so it's not so tough on the shoulder. Some people have an issue with serving. You can obviously also transition into a regular doubles match if you want that. But I think Dingles is a great way to play tennis and enjoy it. And I hope we can find more of these types of games, different approaches to tennis to make it more accessible, because I think that is the issue. We have a little bit of a high threshold to become a tennis player. I talk about that a lot on the Tennis Nerd podcast with different people, because if you look at pickleball or even paddle, it's easier to get into, it's easier to start a rally, it's more social. You're pretty much always playing doubles. In pickleball you play some singles as well, but it's always more of a kind of social vibe. I think that is important. I think that's sometimes what tennis lacks, where we focus too much on just competitive elements. Some people are ultra competitive and they're very traditionalist when it comes to tennis. It should be this way, it should be that way, it's always been like this. And I think we need to challenge ourselves and look at tennis a little bit differently to make the sport attract a bigger audience, because there is obviously a worry, whether it's correct or not, that tennis drops a few people here and there, and it's getting kind of older as a sport, that we're not getting as many young players as we want, especially eyeballs on the sport when we look at professional tennis. So I really think it's important, and it's something we should all, as tennis players, think about. How can we make this sport more attractive, more engaging, more accessible to new players. And I think Dingles is one of those ways to do it. If you have other ideas on how to make tennis a little bit more accessible, I would love to hear them. This is something I'm really passionate about, besides rackets and strings, as you know. So I really think it's important that we treat it as such and look into new ways of innovating and making tennis more engaging for everyone. So that's the Dingles video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you play Dingles, what you think about the sport. If you want to see the vlog from my trip, it's coming up. There's already one for members. They always get previews and a little bit of sneak peeks of rackets and stuff. So join on Patreon or on YouTube to become a member. Check out the podcast as always. There will be a newsletter coming up. We're revamping the website, tennisnerd.net. So there's loads of tennis nerd stuff coming your way now, but also in 2025. It's going to be an exciting year. I hope you're well. Have a nice day now, and don't forget to play some tennis.